Then, Kpebu has come to repeat what do you call the NPP did here last week. Maybe you didn't follow Kpebu. No. What data do you have? Have you spoken to cocoa marketing company that they had the 70,000 metric tons of cocoa in their warehouse and didn't sell? That's what we call the Jandam.
No.
CMC.
He himself has admitted on this show that it's not an issue of contention. Even Felix is saying that they left 60.
They didn't leave.
Okay, gentlemen, hold on. You can play because you cannot watch the government. Hold on. It is not your duty to go. Even on public record, you can fact check. I'm saying that go to your Google and fact check. I'm saying that on record, the 70,000 tons that were left unattended to have never been disputed.
Martin Phebu, any Felix Kwakye, Felix Kwakye. Ejina Kabiru Mohammed suye pa. Koko we sense me yawo. Ene NPP for best on better as more time ana koko. Prices no cry no cry. Na mu cheat for. Ene prices na ba down. Na NDC for. And I say NDC abuy no. I say world market price no go down. Enti koko no si bia na eton no say e beti so a NPP for said that Jandam magika ka say killer of Jandam Felix Kwakye any Martin Phebu Oma Cookéd Mohammed MP o ojina wo ma Walewale abe kan say me I say cocoa board for say no more 70,000 tons of cocoa a o man ton na Martin Phebu busa me say o data bi oni fi ana ana say okohu cocoa fo no cocoa payinfo no ana omo de figures na ma no o se da bi na figures no ya bokra dada na Martin Phebu ne Felix Kwakye akukini ye pa odofo na your first time make sure you subscribe to the channel me abel notification is be post here on sabeka bi high politics trending issues entertainment BBB for my Ghana be odofo obaha onsa ebeka bi me say Martin Phebu Solomon Wusu Kwakye echo on issue a me donya me say wuntime nka bi wano odin kra obejo odofo on TV3 morning show no ana story we nyina any nsemu nyina course mo video no a say yengotie ensema Martin Phebu ani Felix Kwakye e de ye Kabiru Mohammed ye ba ye beto as
then Kpebu has come to repeat what do you call the NPP did here last week. Maybe you didn't follow Kpebu. No. What data do you have? Have you spoken to cocoa marketing company that they had the 70,000 metric tons of cocoa in their warehouse and didn't sell? That's what we call the Jandam.
No.
CMC.
He himself has admitted on this show that it's not an issue of contention. Even Felix is saying that they left 60.
They didn't leave.
Okay, gentlemen, hold on. You can play because you cannot watch the government. Hold on. It is not your duty to go. Even on public record, you can fact check. I'm saying that go to your Google and fact check. I'm saying that on record, the 70,000 tons that were left unattended to have never been disputed. So if you say that you are fact checking me, if you say fact checking me, you can go ahead and fact check and tell the source of where the one was left.
Yes, you referenced something that he said. Hold on.
I've referenced what he said. Yes.
You referenced.
Nobody buys all the cocoa in one day.
Thank you.
So the LBC starts.
Oh, and you were talking about rollover.
Hold on, gentlemen. I want to hear.
Your propaganda is not sinking.
Relax. I want to hear what you reference.
There's a season.
Something that
there's a season for purchasing cocoa. So that's what they call the crop season.
Yeah.
So nobody buys the cocoa in one day. So and you are talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of metric tons of cocoa. Yeah. So the LBCs begin buying at a certain time in the year. I think it's August, September or so. So they begin to buy until they exhaust all the cocoa that is available. So they began to buy at the agreed 3,600. At the time they began to buy, the price on the world market per ton was at a certain level. By the time they had purchased up to 580,000 metric tons, the price plummeted. So what was left to be bought was no longer attractive to those who were coming to buy. So because they speak about forward sales, there's also a forward buyer. So the person buying also looks at the market and checks the price regularly. So if they get to a point where they see that the price is not competitive, they move to another market. But this lie that they peddle, that Cocoa Board decided that they won't sell and that they locked the cocoa beans in a certain way, as it's not true.
In anticipation of a price surge.
Look, narrative by the NPP
exactly
to justify the business claim. Number two, he was trying to defend this lie. You see, he was trying to defend this lie. He was trying to defend this lie by saying that, okay, then why are we complaining about a rollover? What happens is that Cocoa Board projects every year how many tons of cocoa they are going to get. They have a technical division that does that, filled with experts. But you see, normally it is possible or acceptable to have a slippage of about 15%. So for instance, you project that, we will do 1 million metric tons next crop season. Then you do about 850,000 tons. But the slip they had in 2023-2024 was 45%. It is not acceptable. It meant that they were sleeping on the job. They were the ones exhibiting hopeless incompetence.
45%.
Because they did close to 800,000 metric tons or so that year. And then you had about 350,000 metric tons.
It was not 350.
It's 333,000.
It's okay.
No, listen. It was around 333,000.
Around 300.
Oh, that is what it was.
I'll come to the numbers.
Please. It was 333,000 metric tons. By 24-25 crop season, we have sold about 298,000. Indeed, we have delivered it to those they have signed a contract with at a locked-in price of 2,600 metric tons. $2,600 a ton. That is what had happened. So this often repeated lie that Cocoa Board decided that they were going to pack the cocoa in some warehouse and throw the key into the sea is not true. Pending a rise in the market, but it's not true. They were in the middle of selling, as we do every year when the price plummeted. Also, you asked the question about how they treated the cocoa farmer. They went to sell.
I was actually going to.
Okay, all right. I've answered this question.
You referenced something that you said. For the clarity, yes.
I said that.
Look, I'll hold on.
You mentioned before.
This is that you give opportunity to
precisely. I'm going to come to you on that.
No, Mr.
Because you referenced
the main point. Kpebu said we sat on the 70,000 metric tons, and I'm saying that Kpebu, show us the warehouse where the 70,000 metric tons was warehoused. Show us that warehouse where you saw it. You just come and yes, go ahead.
All right. So the person just told you they deliver cocoa to the licensed buyer company. Just told you on this platform. If you were listening, told you they deliver it. Those goods are with them. They have not been paid for.
Oh, no,
I just told you. Even if you were not listening, you would have heard him.
Let me explain. You have heard him. He's told you that it gets delivered in bits. It's not a one-day event. So when he says they delivered, he's not talking about that 70,000. Look, I have here.
What was it talking about?
Mr. Okansi, maybe we should raise Mr. Wïsdom Dogby, the MD of
Cocoa Marketing Company.
He says he didn't have the 70,000 in any warehouse. He was here to receive it. And you see, that 70,000 is the difference between the 580,000 they had received, right? And the projected 650,000.
Some of which were actually still on the farm.
Okay. Exactly. So it was yet to come. You come here, you are just misleading citizens. Why? Listen, you lost an election. You are not getting it. You see, we have to keep repeating. You alone, you can't come back to office, right? It's the people in the middle like us, right? Who alternate. We vote for NDC today, then tomorrow we vote for NPP. We in the middle, we are not interested. We've just made a decision. We saw that you misgovern. We see that take your time. Rather support them. You don't know that when you constructively support NDC, that one too, we can in 8 years say that for supporting well, you should also come.
Okay.
So it's also, no, let me show him. So you see, we are all intellectuals. Don't think that every time you have to pull wool over our eyes. Keep pulling wool over our eyes to come to government. It doesn't work that way. Just when the Ghanaian is getting very savvy. So another way is to play a very strong supportive role. When you do, we'll keep saying, you are the deputy MD, so to speak. You've supported these people for this number of years. We think let the deputy also come back into the saddle. It's also a good way. But when we've just thrown you out and you think for the past 1 year, any little thing, you do propaganda, then you reinforce the reasons why we threw you out. Now let's come to the next point. So I'm saying that I have Wïsdom Dogby here. He says the MD says he didn't have the 70,000 metric tons. You are not in the saddle, and you want to tell Ghanaians that Wîsdom Dogbe was sitting on 70,000 metric tons. Between the two, who would we? That's the MD of cocoa marketing company. They do the actual sales.
I know Wîsdom, so
and he's asking you that. Did you call him?
Yeah.
You came to have him call him.
Continue.
Let's do that because it's a sign.
Speak to you. I have a rebuttal, so it's okay. I'll give you an opportunity to rebut.
We are dealing with data here. The man who has the data, you've not verified from him, then you are using some sources. Who would we trust? The man who has the data, he is in the saddle. He says he didn't have those 70,000 metric tons. You didn't check with him. I know these are the same kind of bad sources you were using, and you did the bad governance. That's the same way. You are not diligent.
Yeah, let's
make that point. This is the same lack of diligence. No, that is it. And that's the price.
No.
We will know. That's the same lack of diligence.
I want us to stick to the issue.
When we are talking, I was quiet.
I'm just alerting you.
Yes, when you get your time. But you see, when you were misled, I just kept quiet because of this. The man you are accusing of sitting on the beans says he didn't have the beans at the time. So between you, who is outside the door, and the one who is inside and in the saddle in charge of the steer, who would we believe? Maybe raise Mr. Dogbe on the line, so that you show you. And you, Kabiru, today, you must show us the warehouse that had the 70,000 metric tons that you and your Jandam team, you have consistently said, we sat on 70,000. Show us that warehouse.
Tell us where it was. So you cannot pick and choose.
Next point is this. Look, prices have gone down generally in Ghana, right? You see, this same lack of looking at the economy broadly as a whole, and even in law, we are taught that when we are even interpreting a provision, right, we read the provision as a whole, we read the constitution as a whole. Is this same myopia that led them to do bad governance? You are saying that we should take our money and go and cushion cocoa farmers. Look, there is a tape, a video. You see Dominic Nitu, former defense minister, on the floor of parliament, crying that he has his rice locked up because that rice, right? He said over 100,000 I can give to Abdallah to play. The price used to be about 1,000 Ghana. Today the price is about 400. So prices have come down. Okay. So rice farmers are crying. Dr. Zato, very good. How many times didn't Zato cry here? Maize prices have come down. And so many other prices.
What's the point?
So the point? Oh, it's very clear that prices have come down in other sectors of our economy. And NPP now comes to say we should ignore all these other farmers and take money to go cushion only cocoa farmers. The very thing that they did, robbing Peter. So you are robbing the poor rice farmer, robbing the poor maize farmer to go and pay the cocoa farmer. So that in the end, it will come back and bite you ass again in the form of DDEP, which killed thousands of citizens. Is that how you run an economy? Is that how you run an economy? Look, as I've said, so you check all the maize farmers. Let's check. So from my data, cocoa farmers are between about 600 and 800,000 farmers, right? So if you look at all the other different farmers, maize, rice, etc., and you compare, you are saying that rob the rest, take care of only cocoa farmers. What kind of economics is that? What kind of myopia? And you know what we will do? We will just get back to right where Akufo-Addo ended with us, this DDEP and etc. So please, this is your analysis. Me, I'm not finding my way through it. What is clear to me is that prices came down. These prices, this is not the first time. In 2016, 2017, the price came down. It crashed. But they will tell you that the 2016-2017 crash was supply driven, all right? So it was a supply that was way too much. But I said this current one we are facing is a demand distraction event. So you see the difference. This current plummeting in cocoa price, they say is a demand distraction. What are they saying? They are saying, look, chocolate manufacturers have decided to reduce the size of chocolate bars. Number two, the additives, the fats, and others, they've decided to use other alternatives such as wafers, etc., instead of cocoa butter. The butter, those from.
Oh, they're using other alternatives to boost their. But
so the point is that this one is different. This particular cause, because I heard somebody else saying that.
And this is what Sibia Felix Kwakye Eskuli Kabiru Mohammed with numbers, facts, and figures. I don't know if you get it. NPP for Jandam. I know most of the be on Pesomoye. Adi enye no kure no. On Pesomoye amani ye no kure. Koko kuya for. Mo chitu o mo. Amo mo ni most of them pedisian. Most of them cry international research. Say world market cocoa price say question. A lot of people cry in your time. And yes, I research no. Into omu say NPP for no move. And then you come back to say 70,000 tons of cocoa board for so muja or man ton. You be say facts and figures, numbers. Why the next numbers we ma want to make. You see how much Kpebu Felix for Kwakye, killers of Jandam, and the Kabiru Mohammed. And before most munja Jandam we. The beer person Jandam. Cocoa queer for master some come. Other for we see be Cookéd Kabiru Mohammed, MP for Walewale. Who would you on the show? I don't know first time. Let's also be subscribing to the channel. Me a bell notification to be posted on Kpebu. Politics, trending issues, entertainment, be for my Ghana and brother for on Kpebu and Tuba have but what this or best subscribe. Be share link na mobi. No so be things and pa for my Ghana. Me did the man but I saw Jebre. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.